Celtic's long-running pursuit of a winger is officially over as the club confirmed they are out of the race. A goalkeeper target they had been watching all summer is heading to Dubai instead. A 19-year-old forward who has been on fire for the B team has sealed a loan move. A Celtic teenager has made the jump to the Premier League, and a player on loan in Europe has hit the ground running. Lots to cover. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Rhys Dargie has sealed a loan move to East Kilbride for the season, with the League One club confirming the deal after reaching an agreement with Celtic. Dargie is 19 years old and has started the campaign in brilliant form for Celtic B, contributing 3 goals and 5 assists in 5 Lowland League games. That output marks him out as one of the most productive young forwards in the club's development setup right now, and East Kilbride will be hoping he can carry that form directly into League One football. For a young forward, getting a full season of regular competitive football is exactly what development looks like. Celtic's loan strategy for younger players has improved considerably in recent seasons, with the club working hard to find the right level for each prospect, rather than leaving them in the B team indefinitely. Dargie fits that profile, and East Kilbride is a sensible step up. The announcement came on the same day as a League One fixture for East Kilbride, so it will be interesting to see whether Dargie is involved straight away. If his pre-season form for Celtic B is anything to go by, he will not take long to settle. Now, for the main story, as Celtic News can confirm that the club are not in the race for Algerian winger Fares Gedjemis and have not submitted any offer for the Frosinone forward, putting an end to a transfer saga that has dragged on throughout 2026. Fresh speculation had appeared online earlier this week suggesting Celtic had gone back in with a €9 million bid for Gedjemis. Celtic News understands that is simply not true. There has been no such offer, and Celtic are no longer pursuing him. The door has closed. It has been a long road with this one. Celtic's interest in Gedjemis first emerged in January, when a deal came close before he decided to stay at Frosinone and push for promotion. He did exactly that, finishing the Serie B season with 15 goals and being named the division's player of the season. That form only increased his valuation and his ambition. He has since joined Monaco in League One in a deal worth around €10 million, making a move to Celtic increasingly unlikely regardless of any bid. Martin O'Neill himself had confirmed as recently as a fortnight ago that Celtic held a very strong interest in Gedjemis, but that interest was already cooling. With Haissem Hassan now signed and Arne Engel's departure funds available, the club's priority positions have moved on. For Celtic supporters still holding out hope for Gedjemis, this is the final answer. He is gone. Celtic have their winger. The focus now is on adding a midfielder, a left-back and goalkeeping cover before the window closes. In other news, Celtic have missed out on Croatian goalkeeper Dinko Horkash, with the shot-stopper now reportedly set to join Dubai-based club Al Wasl in a deal worth around €5 million. Horkash had been on Celtic's radar for most of the summer as the club looked to bring in competition for Viljami Sinisalo following Kasper Schmeichel's retirement. Celtic News understands that goalkeeping coach Stevie Woods was a genuine admirer, and Horkash was on a short list of keepers being considered. The Croatian also reportedly wanted to join Celtic himself. However, the €5 million asking price was above what Celtic were prepared to commit. The club decided against making a formal bid, and with Sinisalo performing well and the club needing funds for other positions, the move was quietly dropped. Horkash had asked to leave Las Palmas in Spain and had been determined to stay in Europe to keep his place in the Croatian national team picture. Heading to the UAE does complicate that ambition, but the money on offer from Al Wasl appears to have convinced him. For Celtic, the goalkeeping question has not gone away. Sinisalo is the clear first choice and has started the season in good form, making 8 saves in the 3-0 Champions League win over Lask. But depth behind him remains an open question, and with the window closing, finding an option at the right price is still something the club needs to address. In other news, Erskine Rennie has left Celtic to join the Fulham Academy on a scholarship agreement, with the 16-year-old choosing to pursue his development in the Premier League. Rennie came through the Celtic youth system and was regarded as a promising young striker within the academy. The decision to leave and head south is one that will be debated among supporters, particularly given how rarely players make that transition and end up in the first team at a club of Fulham's size. There is a pattern at Celtic that the club itself has acknowledged. The gap between the B team and the first team has historically been wide, and talented young players have too often drifted away before getting a real chance to prove themselves at the top level. Rennie's departure is another example of that conversation. Fulham's academy has a strong reputation and has successfully developed several players through to professional contracts. For Rennie, the appeal of working within a Premier League environment at 16 is understandable. Celtic will hope that continued investment in the pathway from academy to first team eventually solves the problem. For now, losing another young talent to an English club is a reminder that the work is still ongoing. Lastly, Celtic loanee Paulo Bernardo has made an impressive start to life at Górnik Zabrze in Poland, hitting the ground running in their early European campaign. Bernardo joined Górnik on loan after finding first-team opportunities limited at Celtic Park. The Portuguese midfielder had shown quality in flashes during his time with the Hoops, but struggled to nail down a consistent run in the starting 11 under a series of different managers. The loan move to Poland gives him the chance to play week in, week out and rebuild his confidence. The early signs have been very positive. Górnik have been involved in European competition this season and Bernardo has featured from the start, contributing meaningfully in their opening games. For a player of his technical ability, regular football at a competitive level is exactly what he needs. Celtic will be keeping a close eye on his progress. Bernardo is still under contract at Parkhead, and if he can rediscover the form that made the club sign him in the first place, there is always the possibility of a return further down the line. For now, every positive performance in a green and white shirt is good news, even if it is in Zabras rather than Glasgow. Also, Colby Donovan has responded to speculation around a potential Scotland call-up after new national team boss Sebastian Pocognoli was in the stands at Celtic Park to watch the 3-0 win over Lask on Wednesday. Pocognoli was attending in his capacity as Scotland's new manager and would have seen Donovan put in a performance well beyond his years. Calm on the ball, solid defensively and willing to get forward at the right moments, Donovan was one of Celtic's standout performers on the night. That display has naturally sparked calls among supporters and pundits for him to be included in Pocognoli's first Scotland squad. Donovan himself played it down when speaking after the game. He said, "I just want to do the job for the club. Going into games, I kind of don't think about that. After a game, you see it on your phone, on social media and all that. Obviously, the new Scotland manager has come in. You just need to give 110% performance for your club and give him a thought that maybe this boy can play. For him, hopefully, I've played a good part in the game tonight." It is a mature answer from a 19-year-old who only recently established himself in the first team. The fact that Pocognoli was there in person, watching a player who is currently ahead of Anthony Ralston in the Celtic pecking order, speaks for itself. Ralston has been a regular Scotland cap for years. Donovan is now competing with him for the Celtic right-back shirt. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.